Hi again. So this video I'm focusing on scavenging. And what I mean by that is I know a lot of people when they hear the word scavenging, they think of a rodent-like person who just digs through garbage, hoards a bunch of nonsense, and that's not what it is. Really, it's the, I don't want to say art, but it's the idea that you can use something, make a purpose out of everything. And that's one of the things that really people should really be getting into. For example, for one reason, it limits a lot of garbage. Less things in the dump if you're recycling everything you have. And another reason is that with COVID right now, there's a lot of people who are losing hours, losing money, losing jobs. And it's really hard for them to do things that they want to do. So when you're finding ways to scavenge everything you can out of whatever you don't need, then it helps out a lot. And it goes into the whole survival techniques, because you can find junk and take it apart and use what's still good out of it. So that's one of the things that we're going through. I need to make a form for my couch because the couch doesn't have legs and it's really low to the ground. So I need to make a form that the couch sits on. And I have these closet doors. I'm going to cut them open and see what they look like to see if they're sturdy enough to use for the form. So let's see what we got. So what I've done is I drew a line right down the middle. Now it wasn't exactly 15 inches. It was 14 3/4, which is actually normal for finished product. So when you buy a 2x4, for people who don't know, it's not actually 2 inches by 4 inches when you buy it. It's made 2x4, but then after planing, finishing, drying, and everything, it's actually 1 3/4 by 3 3/4 usually. So it's 14 3/4, and I want to cut it right down the middle. So what I did was I marked 7.5 inches, but I put an arrow on the side I want to be cutting on, because usually when you cut, it chews up a little bit of that side. So you want to cut on the bigger side of the half than the shorter side. Hopefully it works out to being about the same. So I drew a line right down the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the distance from the saw to the end of the plate, and I'm going to screw that board over there as a guide for where the saw is going to follow along to keep it straight, because I don't have a table saw and I'm using just a hand saw, power saw. So that's my goal, to try and keep the cut straight instead of me making a little couple ridges, and hopefully it works. Let's see what happens. So first of all, as you can see, it didn't work. What happened right about here was the guard from the blade actually went under the board, so it didn't even help. And then trying to avoid that from happening over here, it goes down because I was pulling it away from the board as opposed to pushing it into the board. So that's probably just a little bit of finessing that needs to be done, but then I realized these are hollow. So now that it's cut like that, it's not going to hold much weight on this part. There's no strength to it, right? So I can't use it for what I had intended. So I got to figure something else out now. So unfortunately, that didn't work. I got to figure something else out for the form. As I showed you, it was hollow. It's not sturdy. So I won't be using those. But at least I got hinges out of them. I got that little pushy thing. I don't know what they're called, but that little pushy thing that slides in the guardrail, or the guard for the closets, because they were sliders. And I got a handle, and so there's still stuff out of them that you can still salvage, and they're wood. so they will still burn. So they're not completely useless. I'm not going to get rid of them yet. I'm not going to burn them yet because I have this thing that if I ever need something, at least I got it. And it might be, can look like junk, but you never know when this little piece could come in handy. Yeah, it's hollow, but it could still be a light duty shelf or something, right? You can still put stuff on it. It would still work. It does still have some sort of strength in there. That actually looks like cardboard, actually. Believe it or not, right in there it looks like corrugated cardboard. But, you know, that if you have a piece of wood like that, a little 1x1, or you could stick that here, and then it would be a little bit better. But I'm not going to trust that for a couch. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So let's see what else I can do for the stand. So I have another plan. I have these planks. I was trying to avoid using them because they are broken. You can see it's got that curve in there. And I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to get closer. It is broken. So I was trying not to use them, but my plan now is if I can cut around the broken areas, and instead of making one big frame for the couch, I can do one little box and one little box as sort of like the legs. I will try that and see how that one goes. The first thing I got to do is I got to cut before it starts to break. So this side is actually good, but I want to get it before it bends too, right? So probably around here, I would imagine. There's a little break right here. So this would be a perfect spot to cut right here. So this one now is actually completely garbage. It's got, still got some strength into it, but I wouldn't chance it because it is split. So I'm not even going to keep that for future use. I will eventually just burn it. But because I'm going to do that, I'll cut it up a bit smaller. Just so it fits in the wood stove. So this also is broken right about here. And only right here, which actually that's good because that gives us a lot of room to play with it. So I'm going to see if I can get two of these longer pieces out of it. Here's another broken piece right here. Let's see how many of these longer ones we can make out of this one. This one's actually not broken at all. So that is good. It's a little bit split down here, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, we can get another two. Okay, so here we got two for that, like that. For that's one side. Two for another side. See, it's a good thing we didn't use that. hopefully these work for the couch. Lift it up a little bit, hopefully they're sturdy. And that's how you use some old broken slabs to build something new. Now, this could have been done for anything. I could have made a table. I could have done a cutting table so I'm not bent over. And I will be doing that, but I want to gather a bit more materials and more knowledge because I want it to be able to collapse and not have to move everything around all the time. So that is a future project for sure. For now, this is something we needed, so I went ahead and did it. And like always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, even throw a comment down there or two. Tell me if you're a professional and you notice I did something silly and you have advice for me, I'm always willing to take it. I don't know everything. I know a little bit, enough to do basic things. If you're enjoying these videos and you want to see me try and do something else, something that's specific to what you need, let me know and I'll give it my best shot. And for now, that's it, and I'll see you on the next video.